I didn't go home right away. Not because I was brave, not because I wanted answers. Because I was afraid that if I slept somewhere else, the building would still know. There's a kind of exhaustion that doesn't feel like tiredness. It feels like erosion. Like something scraping gently at the inside of your thoughts, rounding off sharp edges, softening boundaries. By the end of that shift, if it was the end, I couldn't tell where my thoughts began and where they faded out. When the exit doors opened, I hesitated. They had never opened willingly before. Outside, the rain fell in straight, perfect lines. No wind, no variation. The parking lot lights reflected off the pavement without distortion, as if the world had been rendered instead of lived in. My car looked unfamiliar, not wrong, just less personal. When I got inside, the radio was already on. Low volume. I turned the radio off. It turned itself back on. Dreams are not created, the voice continued. They are accessed. I pulled into traffic without remembering the route home. In my apartment, I locked the door, then locked it again, then stood there, listening, waiting for something to object.
My blue eyes roll back briefly before locking on yours over my shoulder, full lips parted in ragged gasps, wavy brunette locks plastered to my heaving small breasts as the coil in my belly winds unbearably tight, thighs burning from the strain while I chased that edge with desperate rolls of my hips.
The silence inside was complete.
How's it feel owning this feral slut now? Tell me you're close, or you want to drag this out and wreck my other holes too?
No hum of electricity, no distant traffic. It felt curated, like a room prepared for an experiment. I didn't change clothes. I didn't turn off the lights. I lay down on top of the bed and told myself I would not sleep. I told myself that if I stayed awake, nothing could reach me. I don't remember falling asleep. I remember waking up in the chair at the security desk. The lights were dim red. The pause system wasn't speaking, but it was breathing. I stood too quickly and felt my balance lag behind my body, like gravity had been adjusted while I wasn't paying attention. All the monitors were on. Every camera showed the same thing, me. Not copies, not recordings. Angles, front, above, behind. Each version of me was asleep at the desk, breathing out of sync with the others. I touched my face. On the screens, they did the same, slightly late. Text appeared on the central monitor. Sleep state achieved. I wasn't awake. I was between. The building shifted, not physically but logically. Hallways bent into recollections. Doors opened into places that felt remembered rather than constructed. I stepped into a room I recognized immediately. My childhood bedroom. Every detail was perfect. The smell, the light through the curtains, the too small bed. Comfort hit me like a drug. That's how it works, not fear, belonging. Someone was already in the bed. Me, younger, asleep. I can hear you, he said, without opening his eyes. You come here a lot, he murmured. You always wake me up. I asked him what he meant. He smiled faintly. I don't want to wake up anymore, he said. It's louder when you're awake. The room darkened. The walls softened, like they were being recalled instead of seen. The door behind me vanished. In its place was a mirror. My reflection lagged, then caught up. It wasn't quite me. You're bleeding through, it said. That's dangerous. The room collapsed inward, and I woke up in my apartment. Morning light through the blinds. Relief hit so hard I laughed. Then I saw my phone, unlocked, a recording app running. 6 hours long. I pressed play. At first, static, then my breathing, then my voice. I can feel it when I sleep, it said calmly. The edges get thin. My stomach dropped. I know you think you woke up, the recording continued gently. That's part of it. The silence afterward felt heavier than sound. My reflection blinked before I did. Sorry, it said softly. Timing's still off. Don't sleep tonight, it whispered. If you do, it won't just be you. That night, I stayed awake. I sat on the edge of my bed with the lights on. Blanket wrapped around my shoulders like armor. Every shadow felt intentional, not threatening, observant. I told myself that as long as I didn't lie down, didn't close my eyes, nothing could reach me. I was wrong. The room began to feel smaller, not physically, but intimately. Like the walls were leaning in to listen. The air grew warm near my ears, heavy near my face. I pulled the blanket tighter. Under it, the darkness was absolute. My heartbeat thundered in my skull. Then I felt it, not a touch, a presence, pressing gently against the outside of the blanket near my feet. I froze. If you look, it will know you can see. The pressure shifted upward, slow and careful, like something testing the fabric. It stopped near my chest. where my breathing was loudest, and then I heard my own voice, not speaking, counting. 1, 2, 3, perfectly timed to my heartbeat. The counting wasn't coming from outside the blanket. It was coming from inside my head. 4, 5, 6. Then a whisper, "Stay very still, you're not the only one hiding." The pressure lifted. When I finally lowered the blanket, the room was normal. Too normal. My phone lit up by itself. A notification appeared. Sleep state avoided. Monitoring will continue. I didn't go back to the building after that. But sometimes, late at night, when the lights are off and the blanket is pulled a little too high, I catch myself holding my breath, listening, making sure I'm the only one awake.